Welcome back to the channel, everyone. How you doing? How you doing? I hope you guys are having an amazing day. I am as well. I just finished reading volume 0 of Jujitsu Kaisen. I'm caught up with the anime for Jujutsu Kaisen. I watched the movie, and I own all of them, so I was like, let's read them, and then I'll post reviews of them. This is from the movie. I think the movie itself is arguably just better. I think animation is just better. But with the story-wise, this is a very fast-paced story, and it's kind of in itself. You could almost argue reading this could just be its own like standalone where you don't actually have to read the rest of them and just be like, oh, there's some like loose ends in this where you could be like, oh, where does it go? In general, if I read this and nothing else from Jujutsu Kaisen, I'd be almost satisfied, but there's a little bit of me that's like, oh, I wonder where this story goes. So this teaches you a lot about the world of Jujutsu Kaisen, about curse energy, but it doesn't do enough where it gives you like all the explanations, and I already know that. But with this, like I said, I think it's a really fun little like prologue to what's going to happen, especially with Utah. I think the beginning of the story is really interesting because you get to meet this character named Utah, and he has a cursed energy named Rika. The whole story is this powerful cursed energy that flows through him and strikes out at everyone. I really have enjoyed this small little introduction to Jujutsu Kaisen. I think, like I said, I think the world itself, I think that what Gigi has done for the world is really interesting, and it's fun to just see how it's slowly growing. Someone who has watched the anime definitely can see where this small like movie is from. You get to meet Gojo, you get to meet Ito, you get to meet a lot of characters in this story in general, and I really enjoyed most of it. I think this was a fun little introduction. I plan on doing this, I want to go by arcs. That's why I'm not talking about any more of them yet. I will say, I definitely like the story aspect of the fights. I think the fighting in this is really good. Appa, oh my gosh, does amazing for the anime. I could see where they pulled from the manga and put it on screen. Just the way that they wrote fights in this is really good. Just in general, the style. I guess that's the best way to describe Jujutsu Kaisen is it has style. The story isn't like in depth or anything, but the story is pretty simple, especially in this one. The style it has, the characters are all really cool. For like, come on, man, you have a guy that's a panda. You have a panda who's a part of the crew. That's kind of cool, just saying. You have elements in this where you have curse users, and then you have humans that can't see curses, but they are like a descendant from a really strong family, so they're still able to like fight the curses. It's all just really cool stuff that I like Jujutsu Kaisen with. And it reminds me a lot of one of my favorite anime, and that is Bleach. So it does remind me a lot of Bleach elements, but I think arguably this does a lot of things better. But this first introduction is really solid, and you get to learn about Gito's like evil plan, I guess, and he wants to basically eradicate humans that are not curse users, and it's just really interesting to learn that right off the rip. And to me, where I'm at in the anime versus where I'm at now in the manga, I still have none of my answers answered, and I'm really interested to see where it goes from there. It's just gonna be a really fun ride, and I cannot wait to see more of it. With this in general, the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen, out of 5, I give it like a 4 out of 5. I think it was a really fun little manga. Like I said, it literally could have just been that, and arguably I could have been satisfied with it. Granted, there's a lot of more questions I have that need to be answered, but for a little prequel like that, I'm like, this does a pretty good job at like making it satisfying to read, and I can't wait to get into more of it. So those are my thoughts for this in general. It's not too in-depth or anything, not yet. I plan on doing arc by arc for Jujutsu Kaisen, and then I will eventually do a full video overview of Jujutsu Kaisen like I've done with all the other manga I've read in the past. But in general, Jujutsu Kaisen, I have really enjoyed it. I have no complaints of it. This was a fun little volume prequel to get into it. It's one of those things that you can definitely see the hype coming for what is to come. If you guys made it to the end of the video, I do appreciate it. Make sure you guys check out all my socials down below. Tell me what you guys think about the prequel to Jujutsu Kaisen. You guys can make fun of me if I mispronounce names, because that does happen quite a bit in my previous videos where people will make fun of my how I pronounce names. It's just always just lovely. Tell me what you guys' opinions are on Jujutsu Kaisen. Is it becoming one of those animes that are just becoming so overhyped now, or does it still live up to the hype? I'd like to know down below. And of course, last but not least, make sure you guys stay safe, stay hungry, and tell someone you love them. I'll see you guys in the next video. Stay weird.